Fort Frye Local Schools have received a $40,000 grant from the state of Ohio for a new advanced security software program provided by the Rock Watch Schools program. According to a press release from the superintendent, Stephanie Starcher, this program offers technology that is designed to enhance school security. The program can detect a visible weapon and has facial recognition if the person is banned from the school, and license plate readers that can notify if someone on the property is a registered sex offender. Starcher said this program won't be intrusive to students or staff on campus because security cameras are already installed throughout the district. Starcher adds that parameters always need to be in place to advance security in schools.
I think that the thing about school safety is that you can never be idle. You always have to be constantly looking to upgrade your security plan and your security features. And I think that's one thing that at Fort Frye, we've just made that one of our habits, and we're excited to add this.
Starcher added that Fort Frye Local Schools are one of the first schools in the state of Ohio to pilot the Rock Watch Schools program.